Okay, so imagine this. You've got some spare change, maybe enough for a decent used car. What if I told you that could be the seed money for, like, a nine-figure global hit?
It sounds like a fantasy, right? But it's happened more than once.
Exactly. It's not just pure luck. There's a pattern, almost a blueprint, behind these low-budget successes. So today, that's what we're diving into, the ultimate low-budget success blueprint. We're looking at specific genres.
Yeah, we're digging into the numbers. Verified budgets, worldwide gross figures across 4 key genres. And the goal here is to give you, the listener, a really practical roadmap.
Right. Are you chasing those massive financial returns, that huge multiplier? Or are you aiming for prestige, for festival of gold, building career capital?
2 very distinct paths. And we've analyzed films that exemplify both.
Good point. And let's be super clear on the numbers up front. When we say budget, we mean production budget, the actual cost of making the film, not marketing, not distribution prints and ads, none of that.
Correct. And the gross figures, that's the worldwide box office total. So we're talking global reach, often achieved on a shoestring before any big marketing spend kicks in.
Okay, perfect. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the big money first, those genres with just, frankly, insane multipliers.
Sure.
You basically have to start with horror.
Oh, absolutely. Horror is, well, it's the king of low-budget ROI, no question.
The examples are legendary. I mean, Paranormal Activity.
Right. The numbers are just staggering. A $15,000 budget, $15,000.
Barely anything.
And it pulls in $193 million worldwide. That's
Yeah.
what is that? Over a 12,000 times return. It's mind-boggling.
And the Blair Witch Project before it. Slightly more budget, maybe $60,000.
Around that, yeah. $60K. And it grossed almost $250 million. $250 million.
So what's the secret sauce there? Is it just being scary?
Well, it's about how they're scary on that budget. It's the constraints you see. The low budget dictates the style. Found footage, practical effects, unseen terror.
Stuff that doesn't cost much but can be incredibly effective. It forces creativity.
Precisely. The constraint becomes the feature. With Paranormal, the simple location, the limited perspective that is the horror, it feels real. And crucially, especially for Blair Witch and Paranormal, the lo-fi aesthetic and the story fueled this incredible viral, almost real-world hype.
Right. The is it real factor.
Exactly. Which then got distributors massively interested after festival screenings, particularly Sundance for Blair Witch. They weren't just buying a film, they were buying a phenomenon.
And it's not just those two extreme examples, right?
Yeah.
Even slightly bigger budgets work this way in horror.
Definitely. Look at Insidious. Made for, what, $1.5 million? Still very lean?
Yeah, lean for a studio-level horror.
And it grossed $100 million. A fantastic return. Or even something like Monsters, made for maybe $500,000.
$500K, yeah.
Grossed over $4 million, still an 8x return, leveraging smart effects and concept.
So the horror blueprint is high concept, leverage the low budget for the aesthetic, and aim for that viral potential.
Frighten on a dime, basically. And Blair Witch is interesting because it also had that festival prestige element, which really kicked off the modern found footage wave. It had both buzz and huge returns.
Okay, let's shift gears. Another genre known for huge multipliers, but a totally different approach. Religious films.
Yes. This is fascinating because it's less about festival circuits and more about deep audience resonance, knowing your audience inside and out.
They tap into pre-existing networks, right?
Exactly. It's about values-driven stories connecting with very specific, very loyal communities, often faith-based networks, church groups.
They don't need to find their audience in the same way a mainstream film does.
Yeah.
The audience is already there and organized.
Precisely. Which leads to incredible efficiency. You mentioned God's Not Dead.
Yeah, $2 million budget.
And it brings in $65 million. That's a 32x multiplier. Huge.
Or Fireproof, even smaller budget, $500,000.
$500,000, yes. And it grossed $34 million. That's nearly a 70x return. And you see it again with films like Courageous, $2 million budget, $35 million gross. All Saints, $2 million budget, $6 million gross. Still a solid return.
So the path here is know your niche, serve them directly with values they connect with, and leverage those existing community networks for distribution and marketing.
That's the core of it. Values-driven narrative plus those networks equals loyal fans and powerful multipliers. They bypass a lot of the traditional, expensive Hollywood marketing machine. They're building these devoted empires within a specific demographic.
It's incredibly efficient financially.
Yeah.
But does it build the same kind of long-term career capital or crossover appeal?
That's the trade-off. Often, the primary goal seems to be maximizing that ROI within the niche, It's highly effective for that specific goal, but you don't typically see these films getting major critical awards or crossing over into huge mainstream streaming deals in the same way some other indie paths might. It's a different kind of success.
Right. You define success differently. Okay, so that covers the big financial return paths, horror and religious. Now let's flip the coin and talk about festival gold, where critical acclaim is the key currency.
Yes, where festivals act as this great equalizer, this accelerator. It's less about immediate ROI, maybe, and more about building prestige, buzz, and ultimately securing distribution and career longevity.
And documentary is a prime example here.
Absolutely. It's maybe the most democratic genre in terms of budget to impact ratio. You can literally make a film for pocket change.
Like Tarnation. The budget number is almost unbelievable.
$218. $218.
Less than a fancy dinner out.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the cost of tapes, essentially. It was assembled from home videos, digital diaries, incredibly raw and personal.
And it grosses $1.2 million.
Yeah,
But the key was Sundance, right? Winning the grand jury prize there.
totally. That festival win was everything. It validated the film's artistic merit and emotional power, convincing a distributor to take a chance on something so unconventional and DIY.
So the path for docs. Find a compelling real story, often with a timely hook, and get it into a major festival.
That validation is crucial. It signals to distributors and audiences that this story matters. Look at Catfish. $30,000 budget.
Pocket change, relatively speaking.
Grosses $3.5 million, spawns a whole TV show, becomes a cultural term. Again, Sundance buzz was vital.
Or Super Size Me. Slightly higher budget, $65,000.
Still tiny. And it pulls in $22 million. Again, Sundance acclaim was massive. It proved the film had cultural relevance, that it was sparked debate. Distributors buy into that wave.
And then you have the bigger, more polished docs, like An Inconvenient Truce. $1 million budget, which is still lean for its polish.
Right, but it grosses $53 million, wins an Oscar, it mobilized millions. The festival buzz, the awards, they amplified its message exponentially.
So for docs, festivals certify the impact, which drives distribution and cultural relevance.
Precisely. Real stories plus timely hooks equals festival buzz and cultural waves.
Okay, now let's tackle quality drama. This feels like the hardest path on a low budget. You don't have genre thrills or shocking reality necessarily. You need top-tier writing, acting.
It's definitely a high bar. Character depth and emotional resonance have to carry the film when you don't have spectacle. But when it connects, wow.
When it connects, it can win Best Picture.
Like Moonlight.
Yeah, Barry Jenkins' masterpiece. Made for just $1.5 million.
Which is, I mean, it's less than the catering budget on some blockbusters.
Incredible, and it grosses $65 million worldwide, wins the Oscar for Best Picture. It's the ultimate indie dream realized.
It proved that profound character study, tackling resonant social themes, could transcend budget limitations and reach the absolute pinnacle of industry recognition.
And it launched careers into the stratosphere.
Absolutely, and we see that pattern repeated. Ryan Coogler's Fruitvale Station, budget under $1 million, around $900.
Grosses $17 million, wins big at Sundance.
Yeah.
Launched Coogler's massive career.
Or think about Half Nelson. $700 K budget, $4.5 million gross. Gets Ryan Gosling an Oscar nomination. Unflinching character study.
And sometimes the prestige launches a whole different kind of empire. Like Dear White People.
Good example. $1.25 million budget, won a special jury prize at Sundance, grossed $5 million theatrically.
But more importantly,
It became the foundation for a hit Netflix series that ran for several seasons. The film's critical acclaim and buzz directly led to that larger long-term opportunity.
so the drama path. Compelling, raw characters often tapping into the social pulse and then using the festival circuit to catch fire.
Yeah, the festivals are absolutely essential here. They validate the artistic merit, generate that crucial buzz, and give the film leverage with distributors, with streamers. It accelerates everything.
Okay, so let's synthesize this. We've laid out these four distinct paths, really falling into two broad camps.
Right. You've got the massive financial multiplier camp. Horror and religious films, they leverage genre conventions or niche audiences for often immediate and very high ROI.
And then the other camp, critical validation and prestige acceleration. That's your documentary and quality drama. They use festivals as a springboard for acclaim, distribution, and building long-term career capital.
Two different goals, two different strategies.
But what's interesting is what ties these successes together despite the different aims.
Well, first off, every single film we've mentioned proves that low budget absolutely does not mean low impact.
Right. The idea, the execution, the story, that's the currency, not just the dollars spent.
And second, they all embrace their constraints. They turn limitations into creative advantages.
Like found footage in horror.
Or using home videos like Carnation, or relying on intense character focus instead of big set pieces like Moonlight.
Yeah.
It forces originality and it saves money. It's a win-win.
It forces a kind of leanness and focus, maybe?
I think so.
Hmm.
There's no room for waste creatively or financially. And also the importance of festivals, especially for the doc and drama path. But even Blair Witch needed that Sundance Launchpad. Festivals are gatekeepers and accelerators for so many of these prestige titles.
It validates the film for distributors, takes some of the risk out for them.
Exactly. It proves there's an audience, or at least critical interest, which is bankable.
So, stepping back, you, the listener, have this framework now. 4 paths, 2 core strategies.
And the crucial thing is knowing which path aligns with your goals before you even start.
Right. What are you optimizing for? Is it the biggest possible financial return right now? Are you aiming for that insane 12,000x multiplier like Paranormal Activity? If so, horror might be your lane. Or maybe tapping into a dedicated niche like the religious genre path.
Or is your primary goal to build a lasting career, to gain critical recognition, to maybe win awards and secure future opportunities? Is Festival Gold the target?
In which case, you might lean towards documentary or quality drama, understanding that the festival circuit is likely your key battleground, like Moonlight or Tarnation.
It's about identifying your target audience, your measure of success, and picking the genre and strategy that fits. You can't really chase both goals with the same intensity, usually.
So the blueprint is there. The paths are clear. Know your goal, choose your genre, embrace the constraints.
And understand that those constraints might just be your greatest creative asset.
Great final thought.
No.
That gives everyone a lot to think about for their next project.
Hopefully.
Thanks for breaking that down. Until next time, keep diving deep.